my name is Freema and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And if you enjoy this content, or even if you deeply dislike this content, or I'm going to give you a third option, if you're somewhat ambivalent towards this content, could you please consider hitting the subscribe? And don't consider it. Don't consider it. You know, we waste too much time considering things, planning things, talking these out, you know, having meetings, counter meetings. Just hit the subscribe button. Just hit the subscribe button and make a rabbi happy today. You know, that would be my recommendation for you. And I have been watching Star Trek Picard. But before we get there, I just want to say, if you like stuff, I like giving away stuff, and I'm trying to give away stuff right now. The stuff I'm giving away this week is Doctor Who Season 3. If you've never seen Doctor Who, this is a pretty good season. Doctor Who Season 3, starring David Tennant and Freema, the Doctor and Martha Jones. All you need to do to win is subscribe to the channel. Subscribing being the important part, from my perspective anyway. And then to enter yourself in the drawing, you leave a hashtag Vote Saxon. All the instructions are in the video notes. And we're going to do the prize drawing on Sunday. We do prize drawings on Sunday. We're doing giveaways each week. We're doing something on Sunday when I'm on the TARDIS Zone at 9 p.m. roughly UK time, when we're discussing the final episode of this season of Doctor Who. If you're a fan of this season, we're not so into it. So if you don't like people saying bad things about it, you might not want to tune in, but tune in anyway. You know, let us know what you're thinking. And we do the prize draw there, and we have a second prize this week as well, because I tried to give this away a few weeks ago, but nobody claimed it. It's the guy called Nameless Entity won it. Nameless Entity, if you're out there, please let me know your address and I'll send this to you. But if he doesn't get in contact and let me know his address, then I will, I'll get the second name out the hat, and we'll be receiving that. And for anybody who doesn't win anything, there is still something I can give away to you. In the video notes, there is a link to a Doctor Who, I guess the third Doctor Who thing, a Doctor Who radio play from the 1980s. It was a fan-made thing. It's starring Nicholas Briggs, who does the voice of the Daleks today. He's also a big Doctor Who writer, and it's pretty darn good. It's a Cyberman story. It's by the people called Audio Visuals, who later went on to become Big Finish. Big Finish are freaking awesome. They did some Star Trek stuff as well, which they would do some more. But but anyway, that's all the show notes and bits of business that I have for you today. So let's talk about Star Trek Picard. So this wasn't a bad episode of TV in my estimation. It wasn't even a bad episode. It was not even a thoroughly bad episode of Star Trek. It had actual characters in it who acted like they came from the Star Trek universe, which I like a lot. This was pretty good. But yeah, would I be watching this without the Star Trek name on it? Probably not. You know, probably. Actually, I would. I don't know. I'm about to watch the first episode of Altered Carbon, which I thought was fantastic, and that's something I'm excited. That's something I would watch. This is something. It strikes me around the level as Lock and Key. You know, less interesting than Stranger Things. You know, it's okay. It's not wonderful. It's not. But it hasn't been very Star Trek at all. In fact, I think the function of the series is to tear down Star Trek and tear down the character of Picard, rather than show you an interesting continuation of them. But yeah, let's get into that as we go through the episode. So fine. So we start off, and we have Soji, little Soji's having a dream. She's in a creepy house. It's raining. She walks down a corridor, opens a door, and her father's behind some plants, doing something or other. And then somebody shouts at her, "Ah!" And she wakes up, and she's in bed with Narek. Now, I think at least I will say over 50% of the population of the Earth would be on board with that. I haven't met a gay person or a woman who went, "Ooh, yeah, I'm not interested in him at all." Everybody who is, I will say, sexually compatible with him is really interested. I think the actor's name is Harry Treadstone. Again, BBC, your Doctor Who ratings have fallen off a cliff. You want to come back? Hire this guy. Everybody likes this guy. Even I like this guy. But I think he gives a great performance. So he's really good at this as a Romulan spy. He's very duplicitous. Yeah, duplicitous. You know, you always get a feeling there's like a lot more going on behind his eyes. You know who else is really good like that? Gabriel Byrne. He's going to be in. It looks like a terrible version of War of the Worlds that's starting on Fox next week, I think. But yeah, I love actors where you can see like there's an internal, internal thoughts going on behind. You can see wheels within. That's what I really like about this character, Narek. So Narek, he's in bed with Soji. He's got some like these earpod things in his ears. I didn't notice them before. Has he always had them? I don't know. So they have this little bit of a chat about apparently Romulans have like a secret name, like Romulans have secret everything. Like Romulans have a secret door. Their front door is always a fake one. Actually, I tell you, I really like all this Romulan stuff. The show the show I think I wanted to see, and the show that would make me want to see this show would have been the story of like the fall of the Romulan Empire, and somehow connected with the Ball Cube, how they end up catching this Ball Cube and introducing these interesting characters and an interesting world of like the Tal Shiar, the Jacques de Bacca, whatever, all the different stuff. I like the Elnor, I like the little Lord of the Rings like sword assassin guy. I like all that stuff, and that's what I'm enjoying about this show. And I would like to see a show like completely divorced from the Federation, and like see Romulan and build it up, and then if they put this show on afterwards as a sequel show, you build it up organically and you build up interest in organically, which I think is really the problem with Kurtzman's was amongst the problems with Kurtzman's Trek. They always going straight for the payoff and they never have the build up. It's like. The Orville is the perfect comparison because season 2 we had that incredible 2-parter Identity, which turned everything on its head and created a new villain, but it made so much more impact because they took a year to build up these characters. They took it was only 12 episodes within that season, but they took their time to build up the situation, build up the world, build up the characters, rather than coming in to a pre-established universe and then. Without even using the things you established, just change everything. No, they got to do the work. They've got to put the work in for the payoff, which I think is really why one of the greatest failings of this series. So fine. So so was it Soji Soji. Soji talks. Her name is Soggy, really. Now, can somebody just be called Frank and Betty? Really? Okay, Soji was it Narek's sister Soji that she talks to her mother about her dream, see if it was like a real dream or just saying imagine because she can't remember. And Narek knows a lot more's going on. He knows the mother isn't real. He knows that she's synthetic. Fine. So then we cut off to was it Rayos' ship with Picard on it. And Jurati saying, Maddox just died! Pfft, go figure! Dumb luck. Maddox just died from all his injuries, and it wasn't me who killed him. Yeah, okay, fine. I mean, isn't there any, like, kind of flight recorders on the ship? Fine, everybody buys it, no problem. And somehow she says that Maddox created Soji and Daj, whatever her name is, so we can find out the truth about the synthetic ban. Really? Isn't that a new piece of information? I don't think we heard that before. Look, honestly, this stuff doesn't really grab my attention that much. So if they said it before, I apologise. This was definitely the scene with her and Picard. So there, and then she says they're going to the artifact, and Picard and again. Oh, it's all about destroying Picard. The show, which is like why I'm really don't think I'm enjoying it. Picard's all doddery and shaky. His voice is shaky. And he's got this. He's all angry about having to go to a Ball Cube. I would have thought Picard, more than anybody else, would be somebody who would be able to slay his demons. Somebody who would face them and slay them. So I just find this kind of just out of character for him. I think he would have been. Oh yeah, how many years it's been since? When was it? First Contact. That was what? Okay, I'll tell you when First Contact was. I saw it just before I got married. That must make it 96. Fine. So it's what? It's been 24 years. I think Picard, and he seemed to have been dealt with his demons with the Borg by that time. I think Picard, unless he's like suffering from some mental, is it Bentai syndrome? Oh, no, it was Sarah. He had some kind of syndrome that he was going to die from. They found out earlier, but in Next Generation. But unless he's having some kind of like physical, mental, like breaking down of his brain. I don't understand what's going on. So yeah, he has this like all this rage about having to go to the ball, rage and fear. Then Picard goes to his stupid holodeck chateau, which I just hate in every way. And he does some reading up on the Borg, and he sees Hugh. And there's actually a pretty good piece of directing. I don't even know who directed there, but where he goes for an image and he sees himself as Locutus, and then the camera like turns around, you see his face through Locutus's face, and then he gets some more like PTSD thing going on. Yeah, and I have to say, this is not adding dimension to Picard for me. It really isn't. This is just tearing him down and making him into this doddery old person. I think Picard, specifically Jean-Luc Picard, wouldn't let himself be a victim to. He just wouldn't let himself be a victim, which is what's going on right here. Yeah, again, I understand Patrick Stewart. What was it? Michael Chabon. Kudos to him. I hate this shit what he's doing with Star Trek, but at least he's not hiding away from the audience. He keeps going on social media. I think on Instagram or Twitter or somewhere, he spoke about the things that the that Star Trek fans are not happy about, and he's gauging fans, which I think, good for him. Really, I'm really impressed with that. And he says, listen, if he made a show like Star Trek, Patrick Stewart wouldn't do it. Okay, he's being straight. He's being straight, being open, and I just think, I don't know how upset he was that he's not on board for season 2. Assuming there is a season 2, there's all these rumors going around, but there's always all these rumors. These rumors are just fueled by like people just want real Star Trek to come back. Not this type of Star Trek. And the other rumor is that Picard has lost 72% of its audience since the start, which sounds very probable. I think a lot of people tuned in to the first couple of weeks to see what it was. It's kind of dull. And then I think it was the second week when he said, I'm not going to go and get Geordi and Riker and everybody and Wolf to help me. I'm just going to go with a bunch of new people that nobody knows or cares about. I think most people went, I'm out at that point. And it was kind of like Doctor Who when Jodie Whittaker took over the role. It started off, everybody wanted to tune in and see, and then the ratings just went, it kept going on that way. So the rumor is that the Amazon and Netflix wants out of the Star Trek business, and it's going to go to litigation. And also, looks like Kurtzman's also litigating against CBS. Again, rumor, all complete rumor. Kurtzman litigating against CBS because CBS doesn't want to do another Star Trek show. And he's like, no, you got to make another Star Trek show. Okay, fine. So then we, So then, do we have the titles? Yeah, I think we have the titles already. Reyes, one of the characters who I'm quite interested in. I like. He's playing soccer on his crap little ship. I hate the design of that ship. And he wakes up Jurati. She comes in and she's all freaked out because she just killed her ex-boyfriend. So I guess he's kind of freaked out. And there's this like hint, like will they, won't they? There's like some chemistry between them, and it looks like they're gonna get in bed together, and then it looks like there isn't, and then it looks like they kiss again. And then it looks like they isn't. And then she says, come, let's go to bed. And Reyes was like, yeah, sure. And look, Reyes, I think you should have maybe given that one a miss. Especially Girardi, it's not, it doesn't look like that she's, uncontrollably gorgeous. It's just not like, I got to think, it's like, I think that one, maybe you should have given a miss. okay, well, I guess a guy doesn't turn down opportunities. So then we have this little scene with Narek and his sister. I wish I could remember her name, but I really like Narek and his sister. They talk about Soj's dream, and Narek's sister's like, "Who cares? It's just a glitch, it's an error." But Narek's really smart. He says, "No, dream. Everything is there for a reason." I remember when the last season of The Sopranos was on. There was this scene where was it the last scene or no? It was the last scene, and people were analyzing and somebody said, "Well, the lighting just happens." Said, "No, everything that happens on screen happens for a purpose. There's a reason why that picture's there. The reason why the lighting's like there. Everything has to be done." So that's Narek's point of view about like a positive, a artificial intelligence. That if you put dreams into them, dreams are there for a reason. And he comes up with this interesting idea that dreams are a way of how her consciousness deals with like this. She sees all this evidence that she's not real, that she's a robot, and then she has this perception of herself as being real. And so dreams are the way in which those two things like work each other out. And by understanding her dreams, you understand what's inside her and how to, like, how to get inside her. And basically, they're looking for the location of her homeworld. Like, again, I don't know why they think they have a homeworld. I think there was just two of them made by Maddox, but they really should have explained their hatred of synthetics more as well. Not just say, "Oh, Romulans hate synthetics." It doesn't, like, why. It can't be that old a thing. Synthetics could only come around, relatively recently. So, I think that's like one of the things they just skirted over. Which really, for it to be believable, they really need to do more stuff. So then they're working out how to get to Bull Cube, get into the Bull Cube, and of course Agnes Truddy cuts off Picard because she's a woman and he's a evil white male. So and so the plan is to get Picard envoy status so we can beam on and meet Hugh. So I didn't think Hugh would be that happy to see Picard because didn't he like destroy Hugh's life and world, with that whole thing? And like I can't remember the two-part with him, Descent. I really can't remember how it ended up. So then there's this terrible cut. Yeah, that's the other thing of the series. They have these terrible like cuts that make no sense. And all of a sudden, Raffi's there. She's boozing and she's smoking. I don't know. I just hate that. I just hate that. It goes so against the world, the universe of what Star Trek is. I just really, really hate it. But she's boozing and drinking, and she's trying to get the credentials for Picard. She calls up a friend to get and she asks for credentials for Picard. She's like, "You crazy? No, look, I can't give you credentials." She's like, "Well, we're going to be there in 20 minutes. You better give it to us, otherwise there's going to be an international incident, and it could be a war with Romulan, who apparently." I don't know how there could be a war with Romulus, or Romulus is destroyed and they're all refugees. But okay, again, I just think they need to just fill this stuff in a little bit so it makes more sense. So basically, she blackmails her friend into giving credentials to Picard, and the friend says, "Yeah, Raffi, don't call me again." And Raffi, I'm with whatever her name is. Don't call me again. Oh, of course, it was a dark-skinned black woman because it was somebody in a position of authority. I was still saying that the other day. Like, you have to. If there's somebody in a position of authority that isn't evil, they have to be played by a female. Now they said it's impossible for them to be played by a male. Again, I have no problem with women being portrayed in positions of authority. I do have a problem with only women being portrayed in positions of authority, and I think it's being done essentially because everybody working in Hollywood is disgusting, vile people that demanded sexual favors from women so they could get, a bit part in a commercial selling Wonder Bread. So I don't think your solution is really working out that well. Fine. Okay, so Soji then says that she spoke to her mother, but she fell asleep. Narek says, "Do you do that often?" And again, I like the way Narek's like, nudging her, and she says, "I checked the logs, and your call to your mother every night, each one of them only lasts for 70 seconds." So she's like, "Wait, that's a bit weird." Back on Reyes' ship, he's trying to help Raffi, I think, into bed or out of bed, because she's like, again, drunk out of her mind or boozing or something. Because her son told her to screw off last week. Again, she said she was clean. I just hate. Oh God, I hate this casual. What's the word? Going back to your these addictions that you said you were. I just really, I did. There's so much about the show that feel like depressed rather than elating me about people. So Soji back and of course she tries to call her mother again, and she feels herself falling asleep. She feels it going weird. She stabs herself to stay awake. In her hand. That's really good. But then she falls asleep anyway. While she's sleeping on the Bull Cube, Picard arrives, and he's again full PTSDing. He's like having all these flashbacks, which I didn't do the freeze frame for, but I'm pretty sure are flashbacks from. What's the movie? First Contact. They look like it from me. but which is interesting because I didn't think they were able to use that stuff. I thought they had to be. Thought it was good. They had the 25% difference, but there's something else there as well, which definitely takes this outside of the JJ Trek universe. So I think is this. I will say this is like another universe. I think we've had several universes in Star Trek so far. We've had the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise. That's all in one universe. Then we had JJ Trek. That's a different universe, different timeline. I'm not sure where Discovery fits in. I think Discovery is more in the JJ Trek universe, or maybe it might be in this third universe. Was it? So, yeah, this third universe, which is the Secret Hideout universe. So maybe this and Picard and Discovery are in the same year. I don't think they're in the Next Generation, original series universe at all. Because again, it's just so freakishly different. So anyway, but then again, you have all these flashbacks that seem to come from Star Trek First Contact. So there you go. I don't no idea what's going on there. I think they're probably trying to establish that right now with these little lines. So yeah, Picard has to go into the ball cube alone. He goes there. He's got his shaky hands are like holding that unique necklace, which is not unique in any way, shape, or form. It's one of the things that you get out of a catalog for Argos when you're 16 and you have your first girlfriend. That's how unique it is. Not at all. So Soji wakes up from and she's like totally freaked out. And so then she starts scanning all the stuff, all her old photos, and everything comes up and says it's 37 months old. Everything is 37 months old, including this, this unique necklace, which again looks like something a 16-year-old buys his first girlfriend. Finally, Picard beams in to the ball cube, and he has these real flashbacks. And he's freaking out, and he thinks the Borg are trying to get him, and then he hears Hugh's voice say, "Don't worry, no, they're just trying to stop you falling," and everything seems to be okay. And then we get to meet Hugh, and you know what? Best bit of the episode in terms of Star Trek, because Hugh is actually like a citizen of the original Star Trek from the 21st century. He's conquered his internal demons. He's become an inspirational and aspirational figure. He's overcome so much, and now he's doing this worthwhile job. Yes, this is what Star Trek people are supposed to be doing. This is it, not this like, oh, let's destroy everybody and kill them because they're Romulans or no. This is entirely what Star Trek is about, and I'm so happy that we finally got to see it. So Hugh knows about Soji, and she also knows about Narek, and also is able to call that he's a spy pretty instantly. And he showed up like 2 weeks ago. So Soji's all freaked out because all her life is fake, all the pictures are fake, and she spills the beans about everything to Narek. Right? Narek says, "This is not who thinks so." So Narek says, "You know what? We have to do the jamak. I'm not sure what jamak is to get answers. It's some kind of like meditation, but it's totally taboo for non-Romulans to do it. So it seems to be kind of in the same vein as the Vulcan mind meld, which again I think makes sense if Romulan and Vulcans are like come from the same origins, which they do. I think they do, and so they would have the same kind of psychic abilities. So the jamak is how the I think that got realized in Romulan culture. Again, I like Romulan culture. That's a show that I wanted to see. That's the one that seems interesting. So Picard's super impressed with the Borg reclamation project and what Q's doing, and he makes this this weird line saying, "I never thought unassimilation, whatever it is, could be happen on such a wide level, and by Romulans no less." Why not? Like, what is this weird attitude that people have to Romulan? I don't get it. I do not get it at all. But like Picard's saying, I don't know. Was it Raffi goes to Rios goes to wake up Raffi and says, "You owe me 2 bars of latinum," and because he said that Soji is still very much alive, and Raffi's amazed because she thought she would have totally been killed if she knows. They know what Daj looks like, and they know where Soji is, so why on earth does the Tal Shiar, who hates synths, want to keep the synth alive? So we're about to find out. Narek takes Soji to this room to do a bit of jamak, and there's a Romulan sub-commander guards are saying, wait a minute, you can't bring this, it's like, she's not allowed in the front of the bus. So, and he's like, yeah, he says, you got to let her in. So Jean-Marc takes them on a voyage into their dreams, and they start to investigate Soj's dream. At the same time, Hugh and Picard find Soj's room, and it's completely wrecked, and Picard knows, she's close to discovering who she really is. So the Narek and Soji are investigating a dream. He gets her to walk past the plants that she's never been able to get to before, and she sees what's there, and it's a wooden doll, like a life-size wooden doll version of her. And he gets her to look up through the skylight, and she sees like these two dark moons, and like gives them like some information, which they then assume, that's exactly where the planet of the synthetics is, which they want to find and destroy for some unknown reason. This is a major plot point. I think we really needed to know the answer. But again, if they built this up, instead of doing that nitwit second season Discovery, if they did this show about Romulans and like the fall of Romulans and have it completely separate, and then have Picard as a sequel to this, I would be interested. But I'm not interested because again, this is all payoff with no build up. So she reveals details of the planet, and Narek says, okay, Narek thinks he's got everything, and he said, look, you never were real, when she's asking, like, what's going on? Well, they said, you're not real, you never were real. He leaves her, and he leaves her with, like, he's got this, like, this Romulan Rubik's Cube thing going through the whole episode. He leaves her with that in it, which slowly starts to turn and open up, as she's freaking out, she's locked in there. And there's this little, like, red pyramid thing which starts putting out this red gas that's going to kill her. I mean, I assume going to kill her. Like, they got all the information there. Really, why didn't you keep her around in case that's not the planet you're looking for? Really? So this gas goes out, but then she activates, and she punches her way through the floor to get to to get out, right? So then Picard and Hugh find out. They weren't able to find her, and now she's out of the Jean-Marc room or whatever it's called. They are able to. They find her. They race to her. Narek's racing to her. Narek calls the Romulan security. Said she's hostile. You have to get her. But Picard and Hugh get there first. So then it's a race to escape. And Hugh goes to the Borg Queen's chamber, which has a special kind of transporter in it that can go like for 40,000 light years. I think they said. I just saw the episode. I have to only see. I saw it quickly. So again, this makes it not in the JJ Trek universe, because the JJ Trek, in that first movie they invented like interplanetary transporters, which is such a dumb idea. I really hated that, but okay, fine. So it's clearly not in the JJ Trek universe, which I think was done on purpose. So he's going to transport out to this other planet, and he tells Reyes and everybody to rendezvous with them there. I don't like the way they wrote this. They then go, "Hey, where's the kid? Where's the Lord of the Rings kid?" Because the Romulan guards just come in, and all of a sudden Elnor shows up with his sword. Chops people up. I like Elnor. I'm telling you, Elnor, Narek, all these people. These are people I want to know more about. It's either New Zealand or Australian accents, like getting a little bit noticeable at this point. So fine. So he's he opts to stay behind to slow down the Romulans so Picard can escape for reasons. But again, the episode closes with Picard beaming out and or whatever it is out, and the doors closing, goes to back, and you hear Elnor going, "My friend, please choose to live." And I get, that stuff is cool. It's really cool. And so then we get the trailer for next week, and Riker turns up. So they say, please come stick with us. You'll see Riker. Please. And that's oh my god, this was a half-hour review. Wow. Okay, so there you go. So that was Picard episode 6, whatever it's called, the Impossible Box, I think it was called. But again, I all I did was watch the episode. I didn't like to go delve into it. I'm really looking forward to doing screen grabs to see do freeze frames to see if those were scenes from First Contact, because I think that's really trying to definitely tie this into the Star Trek universe. The way you want to tie this into the Star Trek universe, make it kind of like Star Trek. Don't make it don't make it, what's the word? Betray the essence of Star Trek, and then it'll be kind of Star Trekky. You know what you need to do? Maybe go and watch some Star Trek Continues. Maybe Star Trek Phase 2. Maybe go watch some Renegade. Go and watch Star Trek by people who like Star Trek, and then maybe people who like Star Trek will like your Star Trek. And not just like I think where we are with Picard is the fan base is finding it mostly harmless. I think that's how it's mainly being described. Mostly harmless. My name is Freema and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new video drops. And have yourself a fantastic day.